I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could just ask for a moment of silence.
Oh, good. Oh, you're the mayor.
Your meeting.
A moment of silence in remembrance of Mayor Mike Francis, who passed away on July 31st. Mike was an integral part of Hopatcong Borough, was mayor from 2016 to 2023, was also on this board and many other boards. So if we just have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I'm sorry, Mayor, did you want, I apologize, I didn't know. But great minds think alike.
Yeah, they do.
This meeting is held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act 10-4-6, annual notice having been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the New Jersey Sunday Herald and posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcements. Let's see, roll call.
Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Catamick. Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kuzmich, Mr. Mazelewski,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Here.
Chairman Ray, Mr. Tappan,
Here.
Mayor Galati. Here.
Okay. A motion is in order to approve the meeting minutes of July 21st, 2026. Motion.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock, Councilman sorry. Mr. Mazelewski,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Mr. Tappan,
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
We have two resolutions. I apologize on the first one, Bujar. I'm going to say Zuduo, 52 West River 6 Road, hearing date July 7th, 2026.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock, Mr. Mazelewski,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Abstain.
Mayor Tappan, God. Mayor
No, no, no,
Tappan,
no.
Mr. Tappan, I need totally need coffee. Mr. Tappan,
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
How come nobody wants the mayor? I get enough, trust me.
Approval to authorize construction of an addition and alteration to an existing dwelling. Approval to permit construction of a first floor and a second floor addition to a single family home, Brandon Dora, 232 Lakeside Boulevard, July 7th, 2026.
Okay, Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Mazelewski.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Abstain.
Mr. Tappan,
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes. That was that.
We have any correspondence? No.
I do.
Oh,
Okay,
Or no, was I doing old business?
I put it on old business, but you could do it now if you want to.
No, no correspondence. I'll do old business.
okay. Escrow refunds?
No.
No. Okay, bills, Mott McDonald, Dolan, New Jersey Herald, French and Perillo. Need a motion?
Take it over.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Mazelewski.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Mr. Tappan,
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Yeah.
Zoning officer report.
I do have one tonight. I handed it out. It is number 53 River Pit Road. It's the one that was just memorialized for Street Ludo. It turns out that is an old house with residential dwelling inside it. That's not been looked for a very, very many years. They've been preparing to start to work on it. They actually come in for going to need to take more of the building down before they could start rebuilding it as approved. So ultimately, the page that I'd handed out, the yellow section is going to be what of the framing they can keep. is that the section that's highlighted in yellow, and the section that's highlighted in kind of a reddish color is that's an area where, of course, the framing will be removed and the foundation walls will be removed because they're preparing to do that small addition that was going to go out to the road side of the house or building boathouse. So at any rate, I was hoping the board might, because there are going to be foundation walls left, there's going to be a fair bit of some of the structure left, that kind of give me the latitude to consider that partial destruction. And at that point, then they can just follow the approval that's been in place. Flip side is theoretically with the approval that we've had, and then all of a sudden they remove a major part of the building. If I go by the convention in the state, I would then have to say they have to come back to the board to get the same variances they got already.
So by this, I take it we have your recommendation that we really don't need any more input from this board to move forward.
I mean, if the board can consider this partial reduction, yeah, exactly, then these people would not have to come back to the board. Unless again, they take more of the structure down.
And there's no change in footprint, right?
Right,
No,
there's no difference in what the variances were approved
So
before,
if it
just
make
that
the
they gotta
better
get more out of the
building, why
way
not?
to get there.
Exactly.
Does anybody else on the board have any comment?
Agree with it.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
go ahead, Bill.
Thank you.
All righty. Moving on to discussions, redevelopment plan. I guess I'll speak about that unless you want to. We did have a meeting, reference the open space recreation plan, Rossi environmental resource inventory. We got together. It is quite large, the amount of properties that we need to go over. It's over 225 properties. We just received a map to aid us in going over those properties, and we're going to endeavor to move forward and check those properties to work forward with Green Acres. Any comments?
May I found the documents to be factually dense. And I know there's an issue, like you had said, regarding Green Acres. Once they gain control, it's difficult to extricate yourself from the hug or whatever.
Well, that really, my point was that once Green Acres, has the property, it's incumbent upon us to enforce any type of encroachment issues.
Okay.
And Green Acres is very meticulous about those issues. And anytime it comes up upon a private piece of property, it's incumbent upon us for enforcement issues.
Just kind of turning the issue on a different perspective. I think one of the things also that I've just kind of sensed in talking to people is that maybe sometimes there isn't an enthusiasm for an across the board approval or anything like that. Would it be add more confidence or more assurance that just as a general matter, nothing go into Rossi unless it's individually requested, and then you have like 2 signatures, like not only for this year, but 50 years from now, like the mayor and administrator, whoever they are 50 years from now. Is that an alternative that, rather than trying to say, okay, all 225 or properties get put in this classification, that there's a collection of properties that may possibly be moved in the future, but only, when you get 2, wet signature okays, one at a time, not across the board. I don't know if that was part of the calculus in approaching this, because, and I don't even know if it's possible, but is that an alternative?
I would agree with you. You shouldn't move the entire list in mass into Green Acres. I mean, that really wouldn't be doing our jobs.
Right.
And also, some of these properties are privately owned. We don't have the
Right.
authority
Right.
to move them into Rossi.
I'm not sure, so I can't say this is factual, but if Green Acres is not asking for all 225 properties at a pop, why don't we say, here are things that are potentials in a plan, but they're just a plan, as I mentioned earlier. It's not a contract, it's not a law. If something is of interest, our process as the town is that property is reviewed and signed off on, rather than doing 225 when really maybe only 20 to 25 maybe of substantial negotiation back and forth.
I would agree with you. There should be checks and balances. It
Yeah.
shouldn't just be one or two people who recommend the property. It should be evaluated
Yeah.
by the administration.
So I just throw that out as an option, you
And
know.
Because there are other, the fire department, the police department, there are other situations we may not be
Right.
aware of.
So, I mean, I think our motivation on the open spaces and land use is how do we juice up the dollar that the town spends on recreation and, all the things that encompasses, like maintenance of existing, if we can get $3 extra for every dollar we spend, it's a good deal. And if part of it is conforming to these standards, can we conform to them without fully constraining our ability to respond to maybe next year is going to be different than this year, or the year after that, or 10
It'd be
years.
helpful to know what those 20 or so properties are that significantly important to the plan. Because right now we got a mass of 220 and it's quite the maneuver to go through all the tax maps to say, okay, is that a private property? Is that something the borough may want to sell in the future? Is it a commercial property like this building? You'll never get this into Rossi under my current council. I can tell you
Of
that.
course.
But you might want to subdivide that park and do it that way. But when you mass it up and say, okay, the fire department and the municipal building is going into the Rossi, oof, that takes
Yeah.
a life of its own.
So I don't know if that would be a middle ground between an all or nothing kind of decision for anybody. I don't know, I just throw that out there. And of course, people in open space may say, oh no, that's a horrible idea, but I'm just trying to think of a middle ground.
I'm fortunate, when I worked in Jefferson Township as the zoning officer, I worked under James Leach, who was the business administrator, and I plan on reaching out to him. He has a lot more knowledge than I do. I mean, I was the enforcement and officer with the Green Acres to make sure there was an encroachment, but he's got a lot of experience on the inside as far as what to look out for, so we don't step on our toes, and we do something incorrectly with, Green Acres property. So we're careful and we don't do the wrong thing.
Well, I agree. The research is necessary on our end before moving forward with.
Is it a requirement? Meaning that if you had this overarching statement of these are potentials, but nothing, underlying nothing, ever gets changed until however the approval process that the town, does that make sense? Or
Obviously, you shouldn't be moving the whole thing in
Mass.
in mass. You're gonna analyze, and it's a big task, frankly, but I think you can probably thin it somewhat by splitting out the privately owned properties and, looking at priorities of contiguous properties, that kind of thing, and see what you have to work with. But, you have to take it in pieces, but when or if you act on this and move some properties in, it's specific to those properties and only those properties, and there'll be a justification for those properties being moved into the program, but no, it's not in mass, and be careful. It's our function to do this. So you've appointed a subcommittee, look at it and come back with a report on what they think is appropriate and what they think may not be appropriate. So that's where we are right now.
I think the two best words are due diligence.
Due diligence, yeah. Exercise our due diligence, see which ones are clearly at the top of the list, and the ones that aren't, well, you can just let those stay for a while.
Any other comments? Okay,
The other redevelopment?
oh.
Oh,
Let's see.
I can talk to that if you want.
Yeah, I'd appreciate.
We had a committee meeting on the adding another redevelopment area plan to the borough. It covers from here, Pac-Chan, all the way around up into Landing. And that plan has been presented to the board 3 or 4 meetings ago. We had a meeting yesterday where we're going to, John Rusky, our engineer, is going to expand that a bit into some of the areas that were not in the current plan, to expand that primarily over on the lakeside side, going down towards Landing, where the senior center is. There's a lot of property on both sides of that the school owns, that we want to conclude that in that plan, so that if they want to get creative down the road and offset some of that property into it and make it a good thing for the borough, we can add that into that business plan. The feel from, at least I got, was it's best to get it in now, so that when you memorialize that plan, it's a bad day when you go down and try to do a redevelopment and somebody wants to do something and that block of land that could have been there is not. So we want to make sure we got that all inclusive, and you'll see the revision of that drawing very soon from him for us to take another look at and to make an improvement to go to the master plan for that. So that's all it is on that.
Anybody else? Okay. Let's see. Mayor Galati, do you have any?
I just have just one piece that could have been correspondence too, now that I'm thinking about it. I received the a resignation from Robin Dora, one of our members, is unable to continue on the board. So I wrote her a very nice letter and thanked her for her time that she was able to give to us. And we are currently looking for a replacement for that.
Okay. All righty, did we do old business? No, old business? Nothing? New business? Nothing, moving on. Continued applications? Nothing? Okay. All right,
So PSC&G.
we're gonna go right,
Just say,
PSC.
yeah, they're gonna just continue to next.
PSC&G is being moved to next meeting. So new applications, we're gonna be taking 1 Johnson Avenue, David Katinsky and Kelly Darling. I believe you have to be sworn in.
Both of us? Yes. You swear the testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your name, please.
Ellie Darling.
Dave Katinsky. Yes.
Bill, they're passing to A1.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been there, so I know.
No, I'm gonna take one for A1.
Yeah. You can use that.
Ron. Okay. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Darling. I'm here with my husband, Dave Katinsky, and my contractor, Jay Pauler. Dave and I live at 1 Johnson Ave. We're seeking approval to build a 22.5-foot deck to enhance our outdoor living space and to enjoy the beautiful views of Lake Opakon.
So you're looking for a variance approval for minimum side yard setback,
Correct.
and you have a corner lot?
Yes.
And can you describe the lot? Why is it that you want to do this?
Really to enhance our outdoor living space, and we bought that property because of the views of Lake Opakon. So we'd love to have somewhere that we can really take advantage of looking at the lake.
Are there any stairs to this? I don't see them on the drawing.
No.
No stairs.
The only thing, Ms. Darling, we spoke, when I did the visit out there, if you could speak as to the wires and if you could, illuminate the board as to, the issue with the wires
Yeah,
and your plans to take care of that.
absolutely. So we've already been in touch with JCP&L.
Could you let the board know what the issues are?
Oh, yes, there are wires that are close to the deck. They would not be above the deck. They're just close. So we are in touch with JCP&L about the size of the deck in relation to the wires. They did not say that we cannot have a deck. They provided guidance on the size, and we're currently looking to get approval from them as well.
Okay.
So these wires run in front of the deck or they're running to the corner of the house?
They kind of run alongside.
They'd be right in front of the deck horizontally with the,
That's
in the sight line.
Yeah, I mean, it appeared that my concern might be actually over like the railing of the deck here. I mean,
Yeah.
In the wires are in the property, you got some three-phase up there.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, they
You
have,
may have three-phase swooping right over your head. And I don't know the proximity of that, but you also have some lower wires, like the cable.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you know, and I don't know how close, I don't know if you looked at it, is that close enough that when that projects out? You know,
It's not right over though. It's a couple of feet out. Actually, that power line fell down, one of them, like 4th of July. We had the power for a week, but yeah, it landed far away from where the deck would be. The driveway extends to there already and
Ms. Darling, didn't you speak to, the Power and Light Company about?
Yeah, and
That-
their main concern is the primary top wires. Everything else they weren't concerned about.
Is that because it's the phone company's problem?
Yeah, phone company cable, but
Does the phone company have a problem?
we don't have a phone line. So,
Well, I mean, there are other people too. No, I also, I'm also concerned just about the junction coming into your house, whether it would be reachable and grabbable from somebody standing on the deck. So, you know, I like the plan, the property, all of that. It's more of an issue of safety that came to top of mind here. When we also looked at the property, that was the one thing. I see you're waving. And I mean, with JCP&L and electrical and electrical zoning all be willing to put something in writing that it conforms to best safety standards. It's one thing to say, yeah, the guy says it's no problem. Are they willing to put it in writing that there is no problem with safety with the build? Because nobody's going to argue that the deck doesn't look nice, the house doesn't look nice. It's that 1 in a million chance where somebody's outside, the pole falls the wrong way, or somebody goes and grabs that thing coming into your breaker box, you know, because they can.
Bill, before he answers,
Okay.
he's a contractor. Can you swear
I'm
him in?
going to provide testimony.
Yeah, sure.
Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes,
Your full name, sir?
Jay Pollard,
Jay Pollard?
correct,
And your role in this is what?
contractor.
Can you address the issue you've been talking about?
Yes. So I was out there when JCP&L came out. They said they need they get a 7.5 foot right of way. And we can't build anything within that. So that's basically the center of the pole. So we brought the deck down to 8.5 feet to meet that requirement.
Mhm.
And then the other requirement for where the power's coming in, they need 12 feet.
Mhm.
So, and we're at about 13 from the deck to where the power lines come in.
Okay, visually, and again, this would all be just, you know, be outside of casual not casual, but undocumented conversation.
right.
They will put this in writing that you're in conformance before you start the project.
If that's something that you require, I guess we can.
No, I'm just saying, if the positive vote was dependent on it.
We're concerned for your safety.
Absolutely.
Nobody's complaining about the
Absolutely.
design.
Yep.
It's nice property, all that.
Yeah.
It's the kid who's out of sight and
Mhm.
decides to walk
Sure.
along the rail
It
and,
takes a mop handle.
Yeah.
you know.
Right. No,
that kind of
I
stuff.
get it. I agree with that.
In the, engineering report, it says any approval need be subject to the JCP&L So I think we should make that as part of the.
More than casual,
Okay,
just,
yeah,
yeah,
casual,
we've been
whatever.
here, this is the
Yep.
guideline, this is where they are with their plans, good to go.
Comment on the specific plans if they would, and you're going to have to be tenacious. I've dealt with JCP&L over the last couple of years, and holy crap. So be patient, be
Yeah.
tenacious, because you're gonna have to be.
So.
The plan that we have. I mean, it shows like 4 feet to the property line, but you're saying.
Yeah, we
that- that
originally,
8 feet to the wire?
right, well, they want, the original plan was to go, I believe, 14 feet out, but that puts us under the wires.
Okay.
Well,
So.
not really under, not necessarily under the wires, but within their right of way.
Right.
So they required 7.5 feet, so that puts us at 8.5 feet instead of under the right of way.
8.5.
So it's gonna be 8.5 off the, actually, she has a copy here if you want that. Which actually conform, it's in a line with the, actually, here's a bunch of them. You wanna add them out?
Dennis,
Well,
would
it's lined up.
JCP&L give us a document, you believe, to,
I think we'll need something.
yeah,
I mean, whether they'll do.
in
it,
your
like,
experience?
It'll be tough to get at them, but I think they need it.
Okay, I agree.
Can the town, electrical construction approval process?
It's kind of a
be able to
standard
cover
code requirement, so, I mean,
Right?
I would,
And mine off the cuff, I did say, to me, it was usually 10 feet from the wire.
yeah,
So you take the 3 phase, I think go 10 feet from the edge, but that's.
yeah, they,
My off the cuff,
I got you,
and I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
right.
wire, because. That's what I've had on it.
So this design has been, reviewed, or at least had consultation with JCP&L. The deck will project from the home toward, the road, 8 feet 6 inches. Is that right?
Correct, 8 feet 6 inches off the house towards the road,
Okay. Whereas you originally designed it
to be
for
14 feet.
Right. Okay.
I think what we're looking for is a document from JCP&L.
Okay.
And then we can move your variance forward at that point, if that's a,
We could make
Could we
it,
not approve it now or
With this.
contingent upon?
yeah, can we-
favorable, it could be a condition of approval. that they
condition
not-
of approval.
They not get their construction permit until that letter is.
That sounds fine.
And it's, again, just for my own mind, it's the 2 points. It's the wires that are public wires going across and also going down into the.
As well as the wires that come to the house.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, let's, when
So
I
we'll
get,
get that they require 12 feet up and you're 7.5 foot right of way.
yeah, the 2 things, that would be good. So
All right. Would somebody like to make a motion with contingent?
Open up to the public.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay.
Amy, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Would, as the public, would anybody from the public like to comment on this? Okay, no one?
See, no,
All right.
now you can come back.
Amy, what do we do now?
No, you can.
Would anybody on the board like to make a motion? Contingent?
I'll make a motion to approve it as written contingent upon what we've just spoken.
Okay, with those two
yeah, I'll
two
second it.
issues,
I'll second it, conditioned on the 2
two issues. You good, Amy?
Yes. Mr. Sherla,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick. Sorry, Ms. Crock. Yes. Mr. Maslowski.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mr. Tappan.
Yes.
Mayor Gladdy.
Yes,
Here we go.
There you go.
Thank you guys very much.
yes, thank you.
All right. The next one's a ZBA, so-
Mayor, variance.
Bill, did we make that other one exhibit A2?
Take the-
Okay.
Next up, 125 Lakeside Boulevard, LLC.
Good evening, Chris Colabella on behalf of the applicant. This evening we have a application for variances relating to essentially a boathouse that certain modifications are being proposed to. We have our architect here, Joe Gates, to testify with respect to all of those modifications. There's also variances relating to the pre-existing non-conforming use. There's certain garden walls that are there, have been there to stop erosion. some side stairs and a couple of alterations to the boathouse. Pretty much staying within the footprint of the boathouse, and for construction of a bathroom and in the boathouse and alteration of a dock. So, with that, I'd like to have Mr. Gates sworn in, if possible.
You raise the right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
And Mr. Gates, you can give your very brief background.
There's the Very James State Architectural Design, 132 Landing Road, Landing, New Jersey, 07850. Received my Bachelor of Architecture in 1992, NJIT, and licensed by the state of New Jersey, 1992, and worked in the state architectural design since I was great.
And you testified before this board on numerous occasions.
Yes, I have.
Can I just go into, there's a long history on this property.
There is.
At least 6 applications. So back in 1982, there was an application, there was a fire apparently, and there was a rebuilding of a 2-family home. In the rebuilding, there was a foundation, there was a basement incorporated, which apparently historically has not been the case. In 1987, it was noted that there were 2 structures on the lot, and the boathouse had 1 apartment in it. There's a deck expansion around the boathouse that was approved December 10th, 2008. There was an authorization to incorporate a power restricted apartment in the basement level of the 2-family home. So that created another bedroom, and that deed restriction was recorded. An extension of the approval. Those applications were all under the name Thomas Falanga. After that, property apparently was conveyed to a Stephen Hines. And in October of 16th, 2012, it noted that there were 4 residential uses, 1 apartment in the boathouse. And there were 1 side of the basement and 2 bedrooms, the unit above. There was an application then to convert 1 side of the building into a larger apartment up and down, and that was approved. So you ended up with 3 apartments, 1 color restricted. And then on March 19th, 2013, a storage shed was approved for the site. The approval of the use variance for the occupancy of the basement, another apartment was really premised, the relief was premised on it being a co-op unit. That was the justification. And the conversion of the apartment on the left side of the building to incorporate the basement was really done to provide a more usable apartment structure. It did not increase the number of bedrooms. The same number of bedrooms were there. So that was the justification. If the applicant is seeking another bedroom in the boathouse, is that what you're doing?
No. The boathouse already has an apartment.
And it's just 1.
Just 1, yeah. So what he's asking for on the level where the boat would pull in is just to put a bathroom there. So, and Mr. Gates will describe that. So just with that, and then there's an improvement also being made to the staircase. And then there's just a couple of dormers, because as you walk up the stairs to the apartment, for some reason, I don't know how it passed construction, but the headroom, you'd hit your head. You got to kind of duck down to get into the upstairs apartment. So part of the proposal, it's not changing the footprint. It's an improvement to the existing building. And again, Mr. Gates will explain the details of the modifications, which really are minor. These aren't major alterations to the building.
Just a question. I kind of lost track on the count of the number of families in this property.
Well, they're 2 separate structures.
Right. There's 1 building with 2 apartments
Three.
and
Three.
and so in the basement.
Yeah, there's 3 units and 1 above the boathouse, so that makes a total of
On
4.
one side, there's up and above, there's
Right.
a top, bottom apartment, the other side is an apartment that is 4 floors.
Right, okay, so at this one address, 125, there are 4 families living there.
Yeah, so when the applicant bought it, how many years ago was it?
4 years.
4 years ago, that's the condition he found it in, and the place was, in a state of disrepair. He came in and, has cleaned it up, and he wants to clean it up even further. Perhaps I should have Mr. Nieves, sworn in. Yes, just stand, raise your right hand.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your name, please.
Angel Nieves.
And Mr. Nieves, you're the owner of this property, is that correct?
I am.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
the
There may be some
managing member of
questions.
the LLC? Yeah.
You're the managing member of the
Yes, I
LLC?
am.
Is the basement property currently COA occupied?
It's not. When he purchased it, it wasn't. And it's the same tenant. So he can't remove the tenant to put a COA tenant in there. But if the tenant is removed, that's the requirement. It's a deed restriction. So he'll have to do that upon the tenant vacated.
Or you could put the COA attendant in the boathouse?
They're different units, so what? Of the boathouse, so it's a different, yeah. I mean, I don't, the deed
But
restriction.
why would you have four families, none of them COA, when you have a requirement for COA? I know, is it the issue of the location?
Misunderstood. I had thought that there was a requirement when that COA restriction was in place, that unit be occupied by a qualifying family or individual.
Yes, it
That
was.
was.
Yeah.
I was on the zoning board at that time, and that was one of the things that was told it had to be.
Yes, and he intends to do that. And you can't, she pays the rent, you can't just throw her out.
No, I'm
But
just
it's an
I'm
annual
confused
lease,
By how
isn't
the
it?
tenant got there.
What's that?
I'm confused how the tenant, this was approved for occupancy with the COA restriction, so. Somebody dropped the ball, frankly,
Yes.
to allow that occupancy, without monitoring the occupancy here. To ensure that it was COA qualified individual, so the ball was dropped. Somehow a tenant moved in there, that should not have been the case. And, is not qualified.
So do they have a lease?
Yeah, it's not as simple as that. In New Jersey, if you're familiar with landlord tenant law, even if they have a lease, you can't remove a tenant if they pay their rent. You
Right,
just
but
you
the
can't,
lease expires, right?
doesn't matter. They become a month-to-month tenant. So
Ad infinitum.
ad infinitum, they pay the rent, you're stuck with them. And that's our law in New Jersey, which is crazy, but that's what
But
it is.
again, in the spirit of conforming to COA, you could give the COA person a better apartment until the situation changes, right?
But that wasn't that unit.
But I mean, if you want to correct a wrong, that would be one way. Right?
Yeah, I'm confused how that wrong occurred, because
Right.
this was approved at that time, so obviously a tenant moved in after that approval. And shouldn't have happened, so a
Right.
mistake was made.
I mean, this was back in, was it 2009? In 2009, that's when the approval was. So at some point after that, there had to be somebody monitoring whether or not this COA use was going to be in place. The owner at the time had to make application through DCA. You have to go through this whole process. And then, of course, there's a list, and then I'm assuming, just moved somebody in there. Or maybe he had somebody in there that was COA qualified and later moved in. We don't know the history. All we know is that in 2022, Mr. Nieves buys it and this tenant comes with the property. So that's kind of, where we are with the
So we
COA.
don't know whether the tenant that's there now is the same tenant from 2008, or whether there's been a series of tenants that were not qualified.
Right, so, but it says intention.
So I don't know who's supposed to be monitoring that here, but it should be somebody's job at that time to do that. That wasn't done apparently,
Does the borough require registration of the rental? Bill, I'm sorry, would you know that answer to that?
But that's, all that is they register the property.
Right,
And you're not registering the tenant,
right,
you're simply registering the property, so.
okay,
you know, there's not a lot of.
Right, it's,
To it.
okay,
You know, it's. There is supposed to be a housing. My terminology is not gonna be correct, but there is supposed to be a housing liaison officer or something who is supposed to track this. And I do remember a while back, Dan McCarthy was working on trying to. Try to, as a matter of fact, in my recollection was, and this was when we were in between. Administrators a while back.
surprise.
And Dan McCarthy was trying to, there was an existing tenant, and I think it was problematic, but I don't know that, I don't remember that for the fact. But he was trying to get somebody on our side to say that, well, this is acceptable and this is not, and there was nobody.
All right, thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I don't, certainly his intention and condition of the approval would be, of course, that unit would be voted, rented out as a COA unit to any new tenant once this existing tenant leaves. I mean, and he'd probably get more rent if he did it that way. So, I mean, he's got
At least
incentive
you
to
get
do it.
paid.
Excuse me?
At least you get it.
At least you
paid.
get it paid every month. So, yeah, I mean, he's all about that and he'll do that. So,
So is the current tenant paying a COA adjusted rate?
no, I don't know what the rate, I could ask Mr. Nieves. What is
The
it?
answer is yes. You know, there's very low rent actually.
Right, so we talked about it and it appears from the chart that a COA tenant would be much more suitable and would yield greater rent. It would be a better tenant and he would get a check every month and not have to worry about the tenant paying. Not the tenant pays, but it's nominal compared to what he could get using if he had a COA tenant. So he'd like to do
I
that,
would like to that.
but it's strange. The landlord tenant laws in New Jersey are completely tenant favored. But
Yes.
you can't get rid of a tenant. You can't get rid of a tenant. I mean, I'm sure other people have rentals. You can't get rid of a tenant.
It's, yeah, Mr. Colabello is correct. Even if you have a 1 year lease, it was a landlord, you assume it's 1 year. It's not. The tenant can stay after the 1 year as long as they're continuing to pay rent. There's no basis after the 1 year to throw the tenant out, frankly. So, you know, it is very skewed in favor of a tenant. My concern when I looked at all this and I saw some reference to another bathroom, I said, that's another bedroom.
You know,
The representation is that there's one bedroom in the boathouse, call it a boathouse. And there will not be any more than one bedroom in that boathouse, and that's what I'm hearing tonight.
did I hear, is there one bedroom in it? How many bedrooms in the boat?
When I purchased it, there's 3 bedrooms.
And that, well, there shouldn't be.
In the boathouse?
The resolution says there's one. The resolutions say there's one. So are you saying that there's 3 bedrooms in the boathouse?
When I purchased it, yeah.
No. No, that's in violation of all the approvals. So if he's thinking that, that's a use variance to expand the residential use that was established with prior approval. And he has to justify how apartments or 3 bedrooms in that boathouse when the approval specifically says 1.
Yeah, I guess there's just a lot of moving parts. You have COA facility without a COA tenant and the 3 bedrooms where there should be 1. And I know a lot of times when people buy properties, they listen to the realtor, but that's the absolute worst thing you can do. You have to listen to the contracts. And
We don't know what the construction permitting history of this is, so
Okay.
somehow there was a conversion of this boathouse and expansion of the 3 bedrooms. As I said, through the prior approvals.
What year was that?
Successive approvals, all referring to 1 bedroom.
What year was that, Bill? Because are you sure that's the boathouse they're referring to?
I'm looking at the 87 resolution, which says that an existing boathouse apartment, single.
Apartment, but an apartment can have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedroom.
Well, I'm just, this is in 87, it doesn't, so it's gotta be a prior resolution.
That's been a long.
Well, but it doesn't say, I'm looking at it, it doesn't say 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, it says apartment.
Well, it just says,
No.
You see something?
I go back and the intent throughout this is 1 bedroom in that boathouse. this boathouse looks like a big house now.
I don't see anywhere that it says that it's one bedroom.
Let me find out.
Go ahead.
I believe when there was a fire, there was correct, that particular unit that is actually was, supposed to be subsidized, for low income. That was the one that was supposed to be definitely a one bedroom.
Yeah.
And that was the big concern in our.
We're talking about the boathouse, not the
Yeah, so, yeah, and the boathouse, again, what I.
fire was on the house closer to the road, correct?
Yes,
All right, we're talking about the boathouse now
Right.
only.
Right, but there's nothing in, I'm reading the
I think it would
resolution.
behoove us to get the construction records, historic construction records on this and see what we have been working with you.
I agree, especially since it appears that, there's 3 apartments based on the owner's, testimony.
There's not, there's 3 legal units pursuant to resolutions. There's a 4th unit above the boathouse. The 4th unit above the boathouse is the unit that we're proposing to do work on.
Well, you just stated there were 3 apartments in the boathouse.
So you're misunderstanding.
Is it 3 bedrooms or 3 apartments?
3 bedroom.
One apartment, right, that's it.
Okay,
And that's how it has, it's been like that
all right,
from the beginning, that's all we're saying. I mean, so I think it's.
thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, there's clearly a long and sordid history with regard to the property, no
Yes,
question
there
about
is.
that. There's these resolutions in place, and it took me a couple of different times to read through them to understand what happened.
Okay,
So in reading through what happened, it's clear now that when Mr. Nieves purchased the property, there was 4 units, 4 rental units. That's what he bought, and that's what was legal pursuant to all the resolutions. I
Okay.
attached the resolutions. The resolution that I see, I think that Mr. Haggerty was referring to, refers to an apartment. It doesn't say 1-bedroom apartment. It's been a 3-bedroom apartment. And that's what we're proposing to alter. And if we need to get construction records, perhaps we can get those construction records for you. I don't know what is gonna be available, but
I think you should do that. You have pretty good tax assessment records, and the tax assessment records should show a floor plan for that boathouse. And how many bedrooms it has. Now, through prior applications, we've had some pretty good results from the tax assessment.
I have one question. I'd like to know what's taken place since you purchased it. Because a lot of these deals have taken place long before he's even purchased this.
Oh, yes.
all of
So, I
it.
mean, we can find it difficult to hold him accountable.
Not faulting this applicant.
Yeah.
there's 2
I'm just trying
bedrooms.
to figure out this history. It's not his fault, but we have to really understand what they're seeking.
Trying to figure out where to go.
I don't know, for me, it kind of goes back to safety, because if it, for sake of argument, if it was 1 bedroom that's suddenly became 3 bedrooms, then you wonder, what was the electrical inspection, particularly in a high moisture area, things like that. In the construction of those bedrooms and the electrical outlets and plumbing modifications, or anything else that may have happened without a standard.
Below it.
Review process for safety. That's one thing.
I understand that. Perhaps we could have Mr. Gates explain what the project consists of. And if you wanted to adjourn after we take his testimony, we're here, and you guys could ask questions and we can start to perfect the record. We'll perfect the record and then we'll supplement it with records from
Mr.
the,
Gates, I agree.
from the construction official who was handling it at the time and the tax record. We can look at all those records and we'll supplement the record with that at a later date, not opposed on that. So Mr. Gates, if you would, please explain the project to the board.
Start out, the 2 boards that are in front of you are the same that have been submitted, however, they have been colorized. Just for clarification or presentation. And mark those as A1 and 2. And these.
Well, it's actually one board, right? So we're gonna.
2, there's another board behind it.
Oh, okay. Right.
And these are sheet S1. And we'll make that A1.
Doing the main house, Mr. Gates, or the boathouse first?
Have some,
Uh,
or is this the garden?
our work is only for the boathouse. We have
Okay.
no work whatsoever with the main house.
All right.
And the second sheet is sheet A1, and that is revision number 1, also dated 12/17/25. And those are the architectural plans for the boathouse.
That's A2,
What's that?
A1, A2.
A2, that's correct.
A2 is A1.
Right, the sheet is A1, but A2, I should have done the other way for you.
Excuse me.
We're all on the road.
Look at the bottom of this. Hey, Ron.
So as was mentioned earlier, the first time we started as Mr. Nieves was to propose a bathroom in the boathouse. That application had stopped at that time because of a handful of different aspects that were not remedied at the time and working through the application. So now coming through with the new application, one of the important things to Mr. Nieves is to construct a bathroom on the ground level of the existing boathouse. Mr. Nieves comes out 1 or 2 days every week to maintain the property. There's a lot of ground to cover, so he comes out, works on it every week, whether it be for lawn work, maintenance work, garbage, recycling, all that kind of stuff. So with the apartments being occupied, it's important for him to have a bathroom. So that is the initial aspect of the application. The second part of the application is with respect to creating building code upgrades for safety aspects. As Mr. Colabella mentioned, when you come up the stairs, the headroom is low. You're supposed to have a 6'8" headroom. So if you look at these drawings, this is the ground level of the existing boathouse. The proposed bathroom is here. So Mr. Nieves would enter the side door. The tenant goes up the steps. Mr. Nieves can go into the boathouse through the bathroom. And there's no other change on the proposed ground level of the boathouse. The existing first floor of the boathouse, you enter the stairs up on the right-hand side. And the 2 bedrooms that are referenced are existing at both bottom left and right corners of this floor plan. And right now, there's circular stairs. When you come up those circular stairs, you have to lower your head a little bit. So first off, circular stairs, those are smaller than meet code. You can have circular stairs. We're not fans of them, but you can have them. Our proposal is to put a real set of stairs to get up to the existing attic. And right now, there is a sleeping area up in that attic. So again, when we measured this building a couple of years ago, this is occupied as a 3-bedroom home. To Mr. Colabella's point, when we looked at I believe it was 7 resolutions, memorialized resolutions, none of those mentioned anything about number of bedrooms in the apartment. It just says apartment over the boathouse. So we've come in here all along since starting this a couple of years ago as an apartment over the boathouse with no, not counting number of bedrooms because that does not impact what's being presented here. The idea is to get the bathroom and get the safety so that when you come up the steps, you have headroom. With respect to enhancements to the facility, Mr. Nieves also would like to just upgrade it aesthetically. So the dormers, what's considered a habitable attic, if you go up to the level above the 2nd floor, if that level is more than 1/3 of the floor below, it's a 3rd floor. So that's 2 issues. One of them would become it's a 3-story structure from variances, which is a no-no in most towns in New Jersey. The second aspect is it becomes 3 stories. You need fire protection for 5A construction for the building department. And that's throughout New Jersey, or you have to sprinkler it. So the calculations here show that it's 1/3 of the area below. The darker shaded area is the existing flat ceiling of that level. If you think in terms of a Cape Cod style home where you have flat ceiling on part of it and sloping ceilings on the rest. So the whole new construction here on the upper level is to get dormers for some light, which also allow the dormer to get headroom over the new stairs. And we felt that was important to create the safety aspect. looking at the outside views, the gray shading on the bottom is all the existing stone. The lighter color hatching is all existing, and only the dormers are darkened in a little bit. So you can see that the dormer on the left and right on either side are the only new expansion outside of the volume of the structure. So the building itself is not being enlarged outside the footprint, it's just getting 4 dormers. And that square footage amounts to 281 square feet existing with headroom above 7 feet, with an additional 65 square feet above 7 feet for 348 square feet above 7 feet. All the rest of that area is lower than 7 feet, which means it's not part of the calculation. It's not part of the building code calculation for occupiable space with respect to Mr. O'Connor's review. So that is, and lastly, there currently is a trellis that is in disrepair over the existing deck. This entire deck is existing, which will remain. And Mr. Nieves would like to construct a deck over the footprint, but not over the whole thing, not going over the L shape, just going over the main rectangle. So that's the total scope of work for the boathouse structure itself.
There's also a floating dock.
That's correct.
Yeah, did you have questions about the boathouse first before we get to that? Because-
Well, I viewed it all part of the same.
Okay, no, I thought,
Right?
I
yeah,
do.
'cause- okay,
I do.
we were talking about the boathouse.
Mr. Gates, on the bottom floor, there's a proposed bathroom. Is that a full bathroom with a shower?
That is a full bathroom with a shower.
Okay, so there's proposed bathroom on that floor. There's a pre-existing one on the second floor.
That's correct.
And I see there's a proposed bathroom on the top floor.
That's existing.
There's an existing bathroom up there now. It would be renovated to get the proper headroom. Right now in that bathroom, the entire ceiling slopes from high to low. I'm not real tall. I'm 5'8", but it goes from a high point here down to less than 5 feet at the far end. Far end meaning 4 feet away.
So there, in addition, you're saying there's an existing
That's under
bathroom?
the dormer. It's an existing bathroom, but that's part of the dormer improvements is to renovate that to fit under the dormer to provide headroom.
It appears that there's 2 bathrooms are being added.
No.
There's 2 existing bathrooms.
Yeah,
There's
no-
one
It's
being-
not listed on the second floor.
One being added where the boat comes in, right by the boat slip in the boathouse.
It's a little hard to see if you looking at your full-size plan. If you look at the existing bathroom where the door swings in,
Right,
there is a sink in that bathroom.
right.
Right next to it, there's a dotted line of another sink rotated 90 degrees with dotted lines. That's to be removed.
That's right.
The demo line.
It's 2 doors going into 1 bath.
You see the.
And there's a bathtub in there?
That's a. Your bathtub in that one? I have to double check.
Upstairs in the attic bathroom.
It's a half.
There is no
Currently.
Just a toilet and a sink?
Yes.
Did you say there was already a bathroom on the first level where the boat comes in?
No,
No, that's proposed.
Proposed bathroom.
that's the new bathroom.
That's existing, and this is existing to be renovated.
Well, it says
Reverse
proposed
bath.
bathroom on the, sorry, the top.
That's the proposed configuration of that.
You putting a shower in this bathroom?
That's correct. So that was, someone doesn't have to go downstairs to use the full bathroom.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions of just the structure here?
So it's going from a 1.5 bath to a 2.5 bath. That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right.
No, it's 3.
To 3.
It's 3
1.5 to 3.
bathrooms. It's
1.5 to
3
3.
full baths.
3
That's
full
correct.
baths.
1.5 to 3. That's correct.
Downstairs is actually, that new one has a shower.
Yeah,
Why-
Okay.
Why does the one in the boathouse have to have a shower?
that's a good question.
When it comes out and works on 4th of July weekend, when it's 100 degrees for 3 days in a row, he has a shower.
Okay,
That's been going.
That's a very large property to come out and maintain, to come out for the whole day. I mean, my opinion, but I'm not sure that that's far-fetched.
And
And the upstairs is an apartment, you can't use that upstairs.
Right, if he has a tenant in there, he's not gonna be able to go upstairs and use the bathroom or the shower.
I see there's a very large deck already. What's the purpose of the second deck?
2.5 the usability of the apartment, similar to the previous application, to take advantage of the views of Lake Hopatcong.
Well, that's because they had no view of Lake Hopatcong. This would be extra views, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of argument, somebody who doesn't have a dock versus
Right.
somebody who now wants to dock 6 boats, right? Where they only have room for 4 currently.
I mean, certainly the size could be adjusted if it was a quite concern about them. Sorry, Chris.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Gates.
Quick, welcome. Anything else before the floating dock?
Yeah.
The floating dock, Mr. Nieves had submitted an application to the state of New Jersey, NJDEP, which he did receive an approval for a similar overall size of the dock. The one he has approval was a square with kind of a longer skinny part coming out. But he went 20 feet shorter and just made the proposed floating dock into a square shape.
Yeah,
For
I
his
have,
own purpose.
I have the approval here. I don't know if the board, if you need the approval, Bill. do you
Now,
know?
we, please look at the site plan. For reasons unknown in the original approval, the board, and look at the projected lot line, look at the lot line. Look where that is. We have consistently taken a position that you are not supposed to go outside of the lot line. The proposed floating dock is 99.9% would be off the lot. The deck that would overhang the existing deck would be outside the lot. So this is very different than these previous applications historically.
So did you need the approval from the state of New Jersey? I have it here.
As long as we're talking about the dock, Mr. Nieves, boats. I counted I believe 6 boats and 2 wave runners. Who do they belong to?
The wave runners, actually, they belong to me. Currently, when there was 2 like little, the wave runners, there was jacks up there. So I put those 2 bats, so the wave runners are mine.
Is there another boat in the boathouse?
No, there is.
Okay, so there's 6 boats there.
Do they belong to the residents?
Yes, they do. Actually, there's that gentleman that boat that is next to the, that's what he told me that was his boat slip. Most of the, actually, most of those boat slips are from my residence.
Well, how many tenants do you have?
I have 3 tenants.
Okay,
And my neighbors, one of my neighbors own have a boat slip.
but they're not your tenants.
No, they're not.
So you have 3 tenants
3 tenants
and you have 6 boats.
and I have 6 boats.
So including you,
Mine, one is, well,
So that's-
mine.
4.
So that's 4 and within our group and within our facility, and then 2 is rented to my neighbor that is right in front, and then there's another one is rented to Jack, which is also my neighbor.
So
Are you
you're running a
renting it?
marina.
Are you renting? it
You're
as-
running a marina, if you're over 5 boats in Hopatcong Borough, okay, and you're renting it out, you're running a marina.
No, that's not what the law says. The law says that if.
Any public, semi-public, or private facility capable of berthing or mooring 5 or more boats.
Not if they're related to a tenant, not if they're related to a
No,
resident.
he said that they aren't.
He said they were.
They're not tenants. He said it's his neighbor.
No,
He just said it's his neighbor, Chris.
only 2 of them, not all 5 boats.
And you said renting them.
Yeah,
Well, and it's a commercial use of a residential property.
yeah.
It's a marina and it's a commercial use of a residential.
All right, well, it's obvious that this application is going nowhere. I'm gonna withdraw the application. We'll reapply. It really doesn't make sense to proceed at this point, so. Thank you. Thank you. for your time.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you. I need to be in.
I think Mr. Colorado got it.
All right. What's next, Amy? Opening up to the public. Does the public have any comment?
Motion to adjourn. Seeing none.
Does the board, any comment from the board? Motion, sorry,
I just said, wow.
Walter? Yeah, okay. Motion to adjourn? Motion?
to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Yeah, just, I just wanted to.
I'm sorry, hold on.
No, this is.
Are we all,
Yeah, we're all done.
Yeah, but
I'm
we're-
just
listen,
talking.
listen, Amy.
Hold on.